I'm Brittany Lewis with Forbes Breaking News. Senator Joni Ernst spoke about inflation during Tuesday's Senate Small Business Committee hearing. The hearing focused on the SBA's COVID Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program. She denounced Democrats' plan to move forward with a, quote, reckless partisan tax and spending spree. She also raised concern about the SBA's lack of attentiveness to make sure law enforcement is able to go after those who have defrauded taxpayers using COVID relief funds.
And with that, let me turn it over to Senator Ernst.
Thank you, Senator Cardin. And I also want to express my sympathies to those families and those communities that were impacted in Kentucky. I think all of us are watching and praying for the best, but understanding that this is a very difficult time for them. So thank you for mentioning that. And thank you as well, Chairman Cardin, for holding this important hearing to discuss the SBA's lending and disaster assistance programs. And before we move forward any further on this, I can't overstate how harmful inflation has been for our small businesses in Iowa and throughout the nation. As part of my 99-county tour across Iowa, I speak with those small business owners who are continuing to tell me how record-setting levels of inflation have created a significant financial burden across their value chains. The most recent Consumer Price Index report shows that prices increased by 9.1% over the last 12 months, the largest year-over-year increase in over 40 years. Over the same period, the Producer Price Index increased by 11.3%, indicating that most small businesses are experiencing increasingly diminished margins, impacting their ability to provide paychecks to working families, especially those that reside in my rural communities. Small businesses are the backbone of the American economy, and despite being told otherwise, small business owners know the impact of inflation on their businesses is not transitory, and it is proving not to be short-term. This inflation crisis has created a hidden value-added tax that has deeply impacted their economic security, which is why it is deeply troubling to me that the Democrats in Congress plan to move forward with a reckless partisan tax and spending spree focused on raising taxes to pay for electric vehicles for the rich, hamstring our manufacturers, and all sorts of other pet projects of far-left interest groups. The COVID Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program, or EIDL, provided support for small businesses facing financial hardship as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. As the rush of pandemic aid went out the door, bad actors took advantage of the American taxpayers' generosity. We now know fraudsters bilked millions and millions from SBA and fraudulent loans from this program. But as it transitions from supporting small businesses to servicing loans, I am concerned about the SBA's lack of attentiveness to ensuring law enforcement has everything it needs to pursue those who have defrauded the taxpayers. Wrongfully awarded dollars must be returned to the program and returned to the American taxpayer. Timely action is needed in order to do so. In a similar vein, the SBA has unlawfully approved nearly $100 million in forgivable PPP loans to Planned Parenthood affiliates. To make matters worse, the SBA forgave 34 of these loans, despite it being a clear violation of the affiliation rule. Yet to date, the SBA has not launched an investigation into this issue or made any effort to recoup the ineligible funds. It is critically important to protect the integrity of the capital access programs that are intended to provide support to small businesses from fraud and ineligible distributions. Mr. Kelly, thank you for appearing before us today. I look forward to working together in the future to ensure that taxpayer money is protected from fraud and that bad actors are held accountable. Thank you. Thank you, Senator Cardin.